One-way flights, round trips, what should you do? And why should you look at booking one-way flights over round trip flights? First of all, we're going to break down a little bit about the cash bookings, which most people book their flights through cash, why they're booking round trip, and the advantages that you can have by booking one ways, and the possibility of saving even more money by booking one ways. And then, of course, the second piece, which is very, very important, is if you are booking flights that are on points or with partners and transfer partners, it's going to be imperative that you only look and search for one ways. And I'm going to talk about that on why that is so important. So first off, let's touch on cash bookings. A lot of people, almost everyone, ends up booking round trip flights. Now, what are the disadvantages of booking round trip flights? Let's talk about it. Well, for one, the first one is going to be if you have any flight delays or cancellations, when you book a round trip flight, you are attached to that entire itinerary. Instead of just one flight, you have two flights attached to it. So if any of those delays or cancellations happen, it's kind of going to be more of a headache because it's going to be more of a headache for the airline themselves. If you have a delay or a cancellation, they might try to switch you onto another flight, which then they might try to change up your second flight, which is a part of your itinerary, which can be annoying. The other piece is if you want to change flights or change times, they might end up charging you more to be able to do that. So you lose that flexibility and the option of not only you thought you were saving money by booking a round trip flight, but now you are losing money by having to go through the extra charges and the extra hassle of changing the flights or paying to change the flights when you feel like you want to change part of your itinerary or have a little bit more flexibility. So really, by booking one-way flights, you can actually save money because now you aren't attached to a full itinerary of multiple flights. It's easier for you to change between different airlines if those delays or cancellations happen, and it's easier to change that flight and the timing much more seamlessly through the app or with the airline when you aren't attached to a full itinerary. The second key piece, which I mentioned, is going to be flexibility. Lots of people book round trip flights because they want to be loyal to a specific airline, or maybe that is the main airline that flies out of their airport. When you look at multiple one-ways, you can get each of those one-ways typically cheaper than a full round trip flight. And the reason being is you can choose from multiple different airlines. So the initial flight, you might fly with Delta, but the second flight, you might be able to fly with American Airlines. You might save $100 or even more by booking separate one-ways. The other key piece with flexibility is some airports only have a certain amount of flights going in and out of that airport. So if you get into a situation where there's only 2, 3, 4 flight times, you are stuck when booking a round trip flight with only choosing those flight times. I know I have had a ton of annoying experiences where I can only fly out at 6:30 in the morning, 7:45 in the morning, and then 9 p.m. at night. There's not much flexibility for me to change or do things with my itinerary, with my trip when I have a round trip flight attached to it. When you can choose multiple airlines, then you can decide, okay, this flight works better for me. It's cheaper and it's leaving midday on Sunday or midday on Monday. So you have the flexibility of choosing the times you want, when you want to leave, when you want to arrive, and the option of having cheaper cash fares. So in the end, when it comes to cash bookings, you're actually going to have a lot more flexibility, which makes flying much easier. That flexibility will also allow you to choose whether you want to stay longer, visit other cities or visit other places, and then fly out of different cities as well. If you are traveling to Europe or Australia or China or all these areas where it's typically easier to get to other cities, booking separate one-ways will allow you to explore other parts of your travel and fly out of different cities, get cheaper flights, cheaper cash options, and give you that type of flexibility. Now let's jump into award flights, partner flights, flights being booked with points and transfer partners. This is massively important when it comes to looking for flights because a lot of award flights are not going to be available every single day. Even though you see 10 flights going to the destination that you want to go to, that doesn't mean that all of those flights are available to be booked with points. In that specific airline, they might be available, but those are very high priced, high point redemptions that don't necessarily give you the best value out of your points. The where you get the best value out of your points is going to come from transfer partners. So when you look at transfer partners, if there's those 10 flights available, let's say through United, there may only be 3 of those available through a few transfer partners. Those flights may only be available on certain days as well, where you can get that additional value. So if you end up booking on a round trip or you end up searching for a round trip, you may look for a Thursday to Sunday, and there may be award availability on that Thursday that you can actually book, but there may not be award availability on that Sunday. So if you search for a round trip flight, it might say, oh, there is not any award availability. There are not any options for you to choose from, and it's not going to give you any available options. Even though if you would have checked a one-way flight, if you would have checked on that Thursday, you would have saw that you could have booked a flight with points on that Thursday, and then maybe you could have paid cash on Sunday for your flight back. Or you could have checked on that Monday and there was the same availability on Monday, and you could have booked the Thursday and the Monday flight by just staying an extra day and getting a lot more value out of your points. Another scenario would be you could end up booking a round trip flight or searching for a round trip flight on an award calendar, and it may cost 2 to 3 times the amount of points on that Sunday versus on that Monday. So you could look for a round trip flight. It may be 50,000 points for a business class flight on that Thursday, and then it may cost you 200,000 points for that same exact flight on Sunday. So it'll say, oh, this entire trip is 250,000 points. The cash value of that is $3,000. You're really not getting much value for that. But essentially, if you checked another one way on Monday, you could have gotten the same availability for 50,000 points, $3,000 in cash value. You're actually getting 2 to 3 cents per point out of your redemptions in that scenario because you were able to search one ways directly on the days where there was availability available. Let me show you a quick example on United's award calendar of how this actually looks. So quick and easy explanation on the award calendars when it comes to booking points flights. So this is United's Saver award calendar. This is just a monthly calendar. As you can see, all these ones highlighted in green would be considered a Saver award. So you can see, right, Saver award, 30,000 miles, Saver award, Saver award, Saver award. This means that they are available on other transfer partners, people that are, or organizations or other airlines that are partnered with United Airlines. So what you can do is you can search on those partner airlines, and likely some of these will be available on there for cheaper points redemptions. But what I wanted to show you is that, as you can see, not all of these have Saver awards. So even though there are United flights every single day out of a particular location, they're only available a few times a month. If you check a round trip right here on Thursday and then Monday, you don't even have Saver award availability. You can only book through United. So it's important that you actually check the days that has Saver award availability where you can go to transfer partners. So it's important to check the one ways. Okay, here, there's a one way on Wednesday where I can book from multiple different transfer partners. There's actually another one way on Sunday where I can book from multiple transfer partners. Thursday, Wednesday, these don't have Saver award availability. So if you're stuck or pigeonholed into certain days, you're not going to get the best deals, and you're going to end up running into issues of actually finding award availability because you have multiple flights and itineraries attached by searching. So it's better to search one way, this way. This is just an example of how you can see that there isn't award availability or points availability from multiple partners, every single day. It's a little bit too deep to jump into the specific. Each airline and partnership is different in terms of their award availability. That's out of the scope of this conversation, but this gives you a good idea of what that looks like. So as you can see, guys, I just wanted to give you a new model to understand why booking one ways is something that you should start looking into, not only for the flexibility factor, which just makes traveling that much easier. It allows you to be a little bit more fluid with your travels, see new cities, check out new places, fly out of new places, and save money on those flights if you are booking with cash. And then, of course, if you're looking for award flights through transfer partners, it's really important that you book one ways each way, unless you're, going with Singapore Airlines or some of those transfer partners that require you to do round trip flights. Then it's going to be important to do round trips with them. But either way, the majority of transfer partners, it's best to search for one-way availability, because then you can get the most valuable and the best redemptions by doing so, and you don't pigeonhole yourself into a situation where you think there's no award availability, but there actually is plenty of award availability. You're just not searching the right way. So hopefully that was helpful. Hopefully that provided you guys solid insight on how you can utilize one ways to your advantage for flexibility, for lower cash redemptions, for better award search availability. And if you have utilized this yourself, if you've ran into problems with this yourself, please drop it in the comments. Let me know why you choose round trips over one ways. Every particular situation is different. You can find round trips that are a little bit cheaper sometimes as well. So like I said, it all depends on the situation, the airport, the timing of everything. But for me, over the last 3, 4 years, I pretty much only book one-way flights because I've gotten way more value in cash redemptions and especially points redemptions by doing so. But as always, like, subscribe. You can always join my free school community where we're connecting, we're collaborating, and I am teaching you guys more knowledge about credit cards, business funding, travel hacking, how you can utilize it to your advantage, leverage it. I'll see you guys in the next one, and I appreciate all of the engagement. We'll talk soon. Peace.